Last time on RPG Pals Club. Oh no, the bus is going under! If the DA finds out about all these drug charges, the entire baseball league is going down. No, Dad, you can't have murdered those people! Yes, I ate the president.
Hello there, I'm Eric, aka Rhythm Bastard, and I go by he, him, and I'm playing Oi, who goes by he, him. He is a punk drow monk who likes to punch things with his fists, shred things with his guitar, and thinks that women athletes should be paid the same as male athletes, especially if they're more successful than them.
Hell yeah.
Love topical jokes that will come out months later.
You know what?
Yep.
It's always going to be topical.
This is also true. Fair. This is extremely true.
My name is Gar Atkins, but you can call me Sahoni. I use he, him, and I play Dodger, a cleric of sorts who is also a wolf boy of sorts. And he also uses he, him.
I am Sam. I go by they, them, and I play as Kier, a war-forged warlock working for the Zentarum who uses he, they.
I'm Regina Dazer. I go by they, them. I'm playing some random gith in a bar, but usually I'm Nevenia Drexel, a changeling, who is very sad about what just happened.
I'm Madison Rowan. I go by Sheer. And I'm playing Koios, the druid crocodile man who loves dogs. He goes by he, him. And also I have Barry, who is the best dog.
No support character on the show.
One dog 5 times.
One dog
so
5
many times. I have so many more dogs, but listen, Barry's important.
8 dogs, 1 time.
So many dogs. There's so many dogs.
I've got a dog list going.
And hey, everybody. I'm Jonah Jackson. I use he, him pronouns. And I'm hopping in as Grimshaq, who's just, Grimshaq's tried some stuff out, working on my bits. Grimshaq uses he, they.
And I am Luke, your game master. I use he, him pronouns and multiple enemies to almost kill the party. Let's get rolling. So we cut to the outside of the bar, the yawning portal, where bloody boot. I almost said bloody boot.
We cut to the bloody boot of a car.
Oh, that's a different genre.
That was
down Mulholland Drive. You've made some mistakes.
That's how the president died, and now we need Veronica Saturn to solve this mystery.
Good save.
The whim.
Veronique Saturn.
Now Dodger is going to have to read some Veronica Saturn books.
She's my favorite sailor.
It's like the Boxcar Children, except they never actually get to leave the box, so they just take their boxcar with them everywhere they go.
It's just sad hobo adventures for all time.
Sad hobo adventures for all time. All right, we got our bits. 4 of our team members are outside, bloody, beaten, and bruised. There we go. That's what all that speech therapy when I was like 6 years old was for.
It's all for this moment.
I know. We're here to see how Koios, Dodger, and Kier are doing, because y'all got beaten up by a griff.
We really did. Dodger is running like one hand through his hair and kind of slumped up against the wall and popping good berries like they're candy.
Oi is face first in a pile of trash, but because he always like does music to meditate, he's like just banging out a rhythm on it, even though he's audibly snoring.
Sleep drumming.
That's how elves do.
Kier just has his hands over his face and is occasionally like bring them away and like wiping his brow and just staring straight ahead like, how did this happen? Not saying anything.
And Koios is sitting on the curb. He honestly, he did the best out of all of them. I didn't lose nearly as much health as everybody else here did. So he's just kind of making sure that everybody else is okay and petting Barry, who's in his lap.
Barry is trying to do whatever comforting they can.
Oh, Barry.
And that is when you notice a group of 4 well-dressed humans, like very aristocratic. They got like poofy white shirts, but all of them seem to have had something like red and pulpy spilled on the front, so they're leaving in a huff. And so the bouncer looks at the 4 of you who are at the front of the line and says, "All right, y'all can go in. We're back at capacity."
Dodger shoves his hands in under his cloak and into his pants pocket and kind of looks like he's really debating whether this is even worth it at this point.
Now we can go see where Navinia went.
Yeah, we do have to. We're obligated to be here, and Navinia is teammate, a business partner,
A friend.
whatever. There'll be time for sulking outside in garbage literally any other day.
Okay. I'm just gonna pick up Oi?
Yeah. I was wondering when someone would be like, okay, someone's got to wake up Oi or do something with him. And Oi is just... Oi just like rustles a bit as you pick him up. And he's like, oh, what's going on?
We're being let in. Some fancy people left. So now we can go.
Sweet. Okay, cool. We can go inside now, finally.
Now we'll put him back down so he can walk himself inside.
Like, Oi just kind of stumbles a bit, leans on Koios a little bit while he gets his bearings, and then just kind of limps inside.
So the yawning portal, as I mentioned last time, but just to reestablish, is this like massive tavern / inn with 3 floors and the massive yawning portal of the name in the center of it that currently has a stage established on top of it. That most of the tables have been moved around, and you see, like, you can move through pretty easily, but it is more packed in here than you've ever seen before because of the holiday. As you look around, you aren't seeing Navinia.
She got a table somewhere else?
It would be like them finding someone to saddle up next to and drink their drink. Let's just find a table and sit.
And you can see, like, the place where the 4 fancy people just got something red tossed on them that caused them to leave. It's open right now. Whatever is here smells slightly acidic, but compared to the rest of the smell of the bar, it's not bad.
Is there still like a puddle of stuff on the table?
Yeah.
Is there like a passing waiter with a bar rag that I can snag?
Yeah. Are you going to ask him to clean it, or...
Oh no, I'm gonna take the rag and just put it on my seat to have a layer between my ass and the stickiness.
Okay.
Just gonna sit on down and kind of run my hand through it and attempt to lick it. It smells good.
Yeah, I mean, you're not sure what it is, but it tastes good. Do you want to try and figure out what it is?
Sure.
Roll me an investigation check. So plus intelligence.
Oh, excellent. You mean +0?
Yeah.
I super have no idea. I rolled a 1.
You don't know what it is, but you, like, sort of just start licking up the rest of it. It's very tasty, and no one else will be able to tell you what it is.
It's free.
Kira's just watching, fascinated by this.
Just this large alligator person putting their face next to the table and just like a Scooby-Doo licking something off of his face.
Oh, that's
running it across.
That's not good at all.
It's tasty.
But the table is clean now.
Yeah, Dodger's gonna kind of slump, and he's like obviously thumbing something under his shirt.
Oi's also just going to slump down and try to keep himself awake by putting one hand on the table and one hand on his chin. So it looks like he's paying attention.
Just put some sunglasses on so he's paying attention in class.
Just a real weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, or like just draw little eyeballs on his eyelids.
So a waitress comes over. Hi. How are you? How are y'all doing? Can I get you anything? Drinks, food?
If I was able to get drunk, I would very much like to be, and so I'm assuming that you all might like to be as well.
I'm fine.
Sure. What's that?
I'll take coffee and lots of it.
Oh, Koios, I am going to get you drunk. Your second strongest liquor, please.
Okay. So several coffees and the second strongest liquor?
Please and thank you.
And as we see her walk through the bar, we cut over to the Griff whose head is on the floor.
Oh.
And the other Griff looking at them.
Oh.
Other people have not noticed yet. How's Navinia doing?
Navinia looks at the table, looks at the Gith, and then says, "What did you do?"
The decapitated head does not respond.
No, I'm looking at the other. There were two of them at the table, right?
No, I thought you had turned yourself into one.
Oh, okay. In that case, if no one's noticed, I think I tried to like push the head back towards the body, so it looks like he's just slumped over the table, like kind of like push them together.
Yeah.
Mush 'em.
Roll me a stealth check to see if you can make a horrifying flesh snowman.
Oh no! Oh boy! That's hopefully my stealth is more than a 10, because I got a total of 5.
Ooh, that's not good.
I think I say, "What did you do?" and before I do that.
Yeah, you do that, and you try and put it on, and the head instead just rolls off the bench where the rest of the body was, and like rolls, and like people are accidentally kicking it.
Yeah, I'm
and
watching
you
it
see,
bounce between people's feet.
Oh, that's
and
Does it somehow end up on the edge of the yawning portal pit?
yes, like people are accidentally kicking it, and then like something shaking the like platform
20
there.
tickets if it gets in.
Something getting on the platform causes it to like teeter for a second and then fall down the portal.
All to a Danny Elfman soundtrack, like the dun 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 dun, something like that.
It's a mousetrap feel.
Yeah, Navinia desperately scrambling to try to capture the head.
No, I think I just stare and I watch it, and I'm just like, all right.
Well, I guess this is what's happening.
And then I think there's a little voice inside my head that says, "This is how the elves were dying. Maybe he's secretly an elf. People can be secretly things."
Sure they can.
And I want to grab something off his belt. I don't know what I'm looking for. And then I want to leave. I want to go through the crowd and leave. But my stealth was very bad.
Roll me a sleight of hand.
His head just rolled across the floor. That's almost 3 times better on the die. So it's a total of 10.
Yeah, you're able to like grab one of the pistols that he had. You're not sure why you grabbed it. It just like
It seems important. And then I walk away. I go through the crowd and I change my form. And then I walk around the room.
you see your friends at the table.
I see my friends. I change my form into like a cat person, and then I change my form into like a bird person, and then I like change to a goblin, so I'm really small, so I'm like trying to lose. Like I feel like I'm being followed, but only by my own incompetence. So
Relatable.
Very vivid imagery.
like I thought this guy was super strong, and I was just gonna like poke him a little bit, and then his head came off, which is I think a thing I'm like thinking to myself very loudly. The comic book like panels are coming up beside my head. Yes, I did just watch Spider-Man.
A good choice.
And I think Navinia just like appears next to Kier, just at the table, like looking sweaty Or do we? You don't know.
No, we don't.
And then I say, I hear. Hello.
Yes?
Find seats? Good. This is a good show. We're all going to watch. I was here the whole time. And I sit down on a bench. And I just...
Dodger's just gonna raise one eyebrow. Ears are just like satellite dishes alert at this.
It's suspicious.
It is. Press X to doubt.
And my hair, like, unconsciously, it starts to look like Gene Wilder hair at the end of Willy Wonka. Like, it's a little too curly in places. Like, it didn't get the shifting right.
Oh, no.
like Gene Wilder by way of Studio Ghibli.
Yeah. My hair, as I sit down and just stare, my hair just gets bigger. Just a little bit.
That's a new trick.
Huh? What? Tricks? No honest people here.
I was actually just teaching Koios a new trick. It's called getting drunk.
Oh, Koios.
Yes.
Thank you for arranging our retreat earlier. That was good and helpful. And when we find that Gith, gonna give him a word or two. Wherever is he?
We just leave them alone. That works too.
Yes.
Do I buy a word of what Navinia is saying right now?
I have advantage on deception checks.
I mean, do you want to try and read them, or...
Yes, I do.
Roll me, I believe that would be Insight.
Insight v deception?
That's typically the way when it's player versus players, Insight v Deception.
Yes.
Beat a 19.
Fuck you. Alright.
Something's up, but you don't know
And
what.
How does a 21 treat you?
Oh, damn!
My uppance has come.
Oh, shit.
I think I keep looking across, like I'm like, oh yeah, looking around the room, and then I stop for a second at the table where the Gith body is, and my head keeps moving, but my eyes sort of lock on it for a second, and they keep moving.
Kira just puts a hand on your hand. We'll talk later.
Yes.
Pats.
We will talk later. We're friends. You and I. We're good friends. Good friends who would do almost anything for each other, right? Yes. And I pat your hand.
Kira just, yes, good friends who would do anything. There's a show coming on soon. Hooray.
And that is actually when the house lights briefly dim as
Thank
a
goodness.
spotlight goes from one of the rooms that I guess has been set up as a green room. And it, like, leads, and you can't really see them because they're walking up towards the, like, stairs at the back of the platform on the opposite edge. Like, you guys got pretty good seats for a weird comedy show in a round room. And that is when Grimshaq comes on.
Beautiful. Grimshaq walks up to the stage, trailing this bag behind them. Grimshaq is currently covered with a white sort of mime face paint and is in a sleek black outfit and says absolutely nothing as he gets on stage, as the crowd does whatever they're doing.
Navendia says, oh God, under their breath.
Like, acknowledges a couple of people in the audience. How are they responding currently? Because this is definitely different from Grimshaq's normal shtick.
Well, roll me a perception check, Grimshaq, so that's going to be a +3.
16.
You know, a lot of the people are confused, but it's one of those things where a lot of people have heard about Grimshaq, not a lot of people have seen Grimshaq, especially recently.
Mm-hmm.
You're really
So
exposed.
they're, yeah,
Nice,
they
nice,
are
nice.
intrigued.
I cast finger guns on like this orcish fellow in the front row, and I do cast friends on him.
I love you, Grimshaq!
I give a silent wink, and then I'm going to pull a couple little things out of my bag here, using my deck of prop items that was so kindly put in D&D Beyond for me. Let's see what gets the show started here. I'm pulling out 2 things, so we've got 5 of diamonds and 3 of diamonds.
Neither of those are cards that are done. I think it's, it's like... Yeah, it's an incomplete deck because I think it's supposed to be tarot, and so just keep going until you get something.
I'll just keep going then. All right.
I mean, you're playing like cards, but like nothing's happening on the stage. You're like,
Just
I just
pulling
keep
them out of
reaching
your
into this
sleeve.
bag, and I go like further and further into the bag until finally it's like 2 little feet, like just sort of waving while most of me's in the bag, and you hear like the sounds of like clunking and clanging and all of this in this bag that is smaller than I am.
There are some dwarves who find it hilarious, though.
Dodger is unimpressed.
I clap politely because I'm not sure if this is the joke.
Koios reaches over and kind of like touches Kier on the shoulder, be like, "The bag's too small for him to be in there. How is this happening?"
Oh, the innocence of Koios.
I emerge from the bag, not showing what I have in one hand, but with the other hand, I gesture to the orc in the front row who I've cast friends on to come up.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. And he just sort of like stumbles, and like Navinia, you see, is crawling over the exact area that the head had rolled down, but nobody seems to notice it. But it's just like you are.
Like he's getting a little bit of blood on his pants.
Yeah. But he gets on.
Wonderful. As soon as he's there, I gesture for him to like turn around to face. It's in the round, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so just the opposite direction of where I'm facing currently.
Mm-hmm.
I then pull out, let's see, I drew an ace of spades and a jack of spades. So I pull out a fake butt and I put it on him.
Oh no.
And then I have an ace of spades, which is a stink bomb, and I throw it in the audience in the direction that the fake butt is facing. While just staring down the audience.
Dodger's not liking this.
Dodger's got a sensitive nose.
He is not. He's just. Both arms are covering his dog nose. Just not. This is bad comedy.
I have to ask, does it hit us or does it hit someone else?
I think it hits someone else. It's like back towards where the bar is.
And I like finger gun in that direction of where the stink bomb went off, so that the people getting the fart get a little bit.
The audience is super divided between whether they love this or they are like so completely confused on what is going on here.
Beautiful. I then kiss the hand of the orc, take the fake butt back, and gesture for them to go back to their seat, and then I face the opposite side.
I just very softly whisper, "He's supposed to be famous, right?"
Oi is laughing out loud and banging the table. He's loving this.
It's like,
Farts are funny.
he's caught in between like Koios and Kier, who are absolutely loving this, and he's just. This is just a miserable addition to a miserable day.
Where did he get a butt?
Kira's just like leaning all the way forward, just like rapt attention. Like
Navinia's staring in horror at what just happened or what is happening. Who can say? They're both awful.
Grimshaq's feeling very good about the fact that the audience is super divided right now. This is exactly the sort of experimental thing that he was, hoping to try out.
Yeah.
It's comedy that really makes
Comedy makes you think.
consider the butt.
Only true intellects get this comedy.
Yeah. What does the butt mean exactly?
To be fair, you need to have a high IQ to understand Grimshaq.
Only if you have an intelligence of like 14 or up.
Yeah.
I think Dodger hits that. Let me double check.
Yeah, I think it's 14 and down. Or 13
Yeah, no, he
down.
doesn't.
That's what's so divisive about it.
Yeah, of course.
You can't decide if it's 14 and up or 14 and down.
It's either. Which side are you on?
I think that on the other side, there's a lovely fire genasi person over on the other side who he will cast some finger guns at and gesture to come up onto the stage as I draw 2 more cards from my lovely little deck here. I'm very glad that both of those last ones were fart related. We'll see what happens this time.
She is like at a table with a bunch of her friends. It is a bachelorette party that she is at, and
It's a head party.
and you can tell she's the one who's supposed to be getting married soon. So she comes up
Oh, can all of her friends be actual Aarakocra chicken people, like hens?
Bonk, bonk, bonk. They are just like plucking it up as she goes up.
I like that we made the yawning portal a T.G.I. Fridays.
Well, it's Mrs. Durnan's fault, whatever's happening.
Thank God it's yawning.
As this fire genasi comes up and all of the Aarakocra bachelorette party friends are clucking and such. Let's see. I have drawn a 10 of diamonds and an ace of clubs. So one of those is a snorkel, which I will put on myself, and I will cast Disguise Self on myself in a priestly garb, but a sort of underwater priest. Just to complete the costume here.
Oh, and I get it. Holy diver.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then I will take out my breakable prop bottle and put it down, and then set a little cloth over it and stomp on it and like give a hey, but silently, and I will cast Enthrall on the bachelorette party.
Okay. So we will see if they are going to be taking this. They are not having it, unfortunately.
Oh darn. How's the rest of the crowd looking?
Dodger likes this a little. Yeah, he at least likes this better than the farts.
Like it's you got some of the people who didn't laugh last time to laugh, but some of the people who laughed last time didn't enjoy this as much. But still, it's a general positive vibe overall. No one's like
Kira's just wide-eyed and just nodding. Yes.
Taking down mental notes.
Yes.
Studying.
Like an art critic?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's more art than comedy at this point.
Yeah.
You'll be thinking about it days later and be like, I get it.
Waking up in the middle of the night, a deep sweat. Like, I understand now.
Holy diver.
I get it.
And then you leave your family and you go to the ocean.
It's a criticism of matrimony.
Oi finally gets that reference after the bit is pretty much over, and he's like, oh! And then starts banging the table, rapturous with laughter.
It's just like a full minute after it's over. It was the only one.
Let's see. After that, I will take my things and I will send the fire genasi back and see. I'll turn if I've done let's say I've done north and south if we're in the round or whatever. So I'll face to the east, and I think that there is a wood elf down there who I'll give some finger guns to and be like sort of like dance motion them up as there's like I minor illusion a little bit of like disco-y sounding music.
Do you lasso them invisibly and like pull them towards you?
100%. It like starts as like the sort of like the circular sort of like fingers towards me, and then like it takes a second, so I pull out my my mime lasso and pull it on him and reel him on up.
And like he is dressed very well. Like one of the things during the Festival of Sornan is you're supposed to be making business deals, and like he was about to sign a document before you like lassoed him up, and like across from him are three like very actually stone-faced Goliaths who are dressed even more well than he is, looking at him, and they see him get lassoed, and they just look at him with this like intense expectation to see how he handles this. Like, this is how the business deal is going to go, if he can do this well.
Does he do the thing where you point to someone in the crowd and then they kind of mouth me and then point at themselves?
And then he immediately mouths, no.
You can't escape the mind lesson.
And I like nod yes as I continue to motion them forward. I'm reaching into the bag, but I'm casting Disguise Self so that I look like this wood elf business person. And then I pull out some Groucho glasses out of the bag with my Jack of Hearts and put them on myself, so I am them but with Groucho glasses on. And then I also pull out a rubber mallet.
Oh no.
And I hand the rubber mallet to the wood elf and look at them expectantly.
Every time you say something, Navenia sinks further into their chair, just like, Oh, I've seen this one.
What do I do with this?
I gesture at myself, which is just the wood elf with Groucho glasses on, as a sort of you know what to do.
He looks back at the 3 Goliaths who are essentially giant shark skin suits looking at him. And he looks at the mallet and he looks at you and with the Groucho glasses on, and deep inside of him all of the self-loathing that he has because he's become a businessman following what his father wanted instead of what he wanted builds up in him, and then he's going to hit you in the nuts.
Where you put a squeaky horn.
Dodger finds this one funny.
Most definitely. As he does that, I'm going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on one of the Goliaths.
Alright, so Tasha's Hideous Laughter. He needs to make a save and...
Going to cast it immediately after getting hit in the nuts.
Yep, the main Goliath, who's slightly taller and is a slightly different, darker color than all the other Goliaths, starts laughing ridiculously, and the 2 others look at each other and they start fake laughing as well.
Excellent.
And the wood elf slicks sweat off of his head.
I remove the Groucho glasses from myself and put them on the wood elf, and take the hammer from the wood elf and return the favor.
No.
Dodger's giving a deep appreciative snicker, but I think he appreciates not the joke as much as the uncomfortableness of the entire situation.
That is the joke.
Yeah.
You did the same thing to him. That's hilarious.
And he does a good job selling the joke as he starts to cry.
And he's crying. This is true comedy.
And he looks back up and is like, "Are we good now?"
I gesture for him to go back to the seat.
He returns back after handing you the Groucho glasses, looks at the contract that all the Goliaths are waiting for, and he just tears it up and walks out of the building.
I see that and I clap a little bit. Is this all right?
Introspective.
Transformative nature of conflict with the self.
And always next to you, it's like they hit each other in the nuts.
And then I, for my last one, I motion as a sort of one more, and I'm going to face to the west here.
Is that where we're sitting?
I think that makes sense.
Yeah. And I motion for Navinia to come up.
He's pointing at you.
I sigh the weight of the world has been placed upon my shoulders and I'll never escape anything ever in my whole life.
Dodger's suddenly very in the moment and smiling. It's your turn to be on stage.
Yes. Yeah. I make that noise. And I just go.
Good luck, Ravinia. You'll do great.
I scritch Barry as a little emotional support as I walk past.
Barry, as you do that, Barry puts a paw on you and looks at you like, "You got this."
So by the time Davenia gets on stage, they are doing that silent weeping. The same way I did when my roommate who was moving out, Cats, put their paw just on me. When they were sitting in a little cardboard box getting ready to move, they just looked at me and then yawned real big.
Oh.
But yeah, it was very emotional.
So as you come up, I will also gesture to Koios to come up as well. I'll have 2 volunteers for my last bit.
I turn around, wipe the tears, and I smooth my hair, but it works too well. And I turn around, my hair's perfect.
Me?
Nod as I'm rustling around in the bag again.
I start clapping for
I
Koios
put Barry on the table. I'll be like, "I'll be right back, Barry." And I am coming up it's the best thing in my life.
Barry nuzzles you to go.
I am so excited.
Price is Right. You're running around the long way.
So I was just gonna start doing the music.
Come on, Oh dear.
Bum,
Just
bum, bum,
Koios
bum.
giving high fives to everyone on the way down,
Yes, 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 yes.
pushing them out of their chair.
As you both come up, I've drawn four items from my deck. Double or nothing here.
Sure.
So I pull out an ace of hearts, a rubber chicken. I pull out a two of hearts, an arrow through the head hat, a two of spades, which is a puppet that looks like a very not accurate, but yeah, it's enough to get the point across version of Koios.
I don't like that, but I do.
And I pull out a jack of clubs, which is a frying pan. So
It's me.
we'll put the arrow over the head on Koios and give hand over the frying pan. And then for Navinia, gets the Koios puppet and the rubber chicken. And as I'm handing you both the items, I shake your hands firmly and give you both bardic inspiration. And then I step back and I gesture at each other.
I take a fencer's pose with the puppet in front of me and the rubber chicken held up behind my back. And every time I squeak it, Koios' puppet's mouth just goes.
Silently, Grimshaq's like, yes.
I think for a moment, and then I take the frying pan, I lift it over my head, and very carefully bonk the puppet on the head with it.
Its arms go out and an egg falls out of its bottom. And it bounces like a bouncy ball up into the frying pan and cracks like an egg.
I'm looking at it and I'm shaking the pan as if I'm cooking it over the puppet's head.
And the puppet's waving its hands like Kermit.
I turn to Kier and I go, what does this one mean?
Kira's tears in their eyes.
It's beautiful.
Grimshaq is just standing a little bit removed, in the corner of the stage, just hands in front of the mouth, just giving the old subtle head nod.
And then the egg cooks, and the puppet goes in and pulls out a bunch of bandages and wraps it around the arrow wound, and then kisses them on each cheek, and then looks at the audience and bows.
I start a slow clap.
Dodger just looks puzzled.
Kier is at his feet, just wiping away tears.
As the applause builds and reaches a climax, I finally say the two words, "Thank you," and I gather my props and I exit the stage.
Were we pranked?
You think I can still eat this egg?
You look down, you're holding nothing.
Where did it go?
I put my arm around you. I'm like, I'll explain it later. It's a lot of sleight of hand.
Oh, excellent.
We'll get you some eggs. Let's get you some eggs.
Yes, I like eggs.
Yes.
So that's Grimshaq's Type 10.
That's what you wanted me to do with those, right?
Later on, it's was that really what we were supposed to do?
No, the egg thing was a total surprise. I didn't plan any of that.
It took me way off guard.
I
never
mean,
saw
Burn in there.
Way better than what I had planned, though.
it was certainly a surprise.
So we go back to the table and we get Koios some eggs.
I'm gonna get eggs and I'm gonna get a drunk. Wow.
Oh yeah, what has come back to you in what you don't know is a coconut shell is some of the most intoxicating liquor that is available. If you...
And it tastes like candy.
Yes, it does not taste like alcohol, which is the dangerous thing about it. It is high quality, but also it's sort of double moonshine, but also a good rum. It mixes well with everything.
Now, Koios, I just want to make sure that we're clear on this. What's going to happen is this will dull your senses, loosen your inhibitions, maybe affect your sense of balance, hopefully not make you vomit. Navinia, am I missing anything? You like to drink.
You look at Navinia, and there's a long curly straw going to Navinia's mouth.
As you're saying that, Koios is basically like taken the entire coconut and just kind of started to dump it in his big old mouth.
It's mostly empty by the time you get in there, but the coconut's delicious.
Do I have the strength to just put the actual coconut shell in my mouth and just eat that?
Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
That's gator jaws.
Gator
Yeah.
juice,
We've all
baby.
seen-
It's very sweet. I like that.
Well, I'm interested to see what will happen with both of you. Navinia, that was quite a lot.
I haven't drunk since the first night we met.
Well, the first night we put you're a known. Well, to put it,
Only on the holidays.
did we meet on a holiday, my friend?
Probably.
Waterdeep does have a lot of holidays.
It does have holidays like every other day. Is every day a holiday?
No.
I need to go talk to my brother and show him this. And I pull out a gun. And then I put it away. And you go, shh. It's a secret.
Do you want help?
Dodger just has wide eyes and it's just fur is bristled, eyeing the gun very suspiciously.
It's in my vest now. It's gone forever.
I put a hand on Navinia's like shoulder. It's like, where did you get a boomerang?
I look at you. And my ears well up and it's like, I only meant to talk. I didn't know if you stabbed someone with a dagger, their head fell off.
What?
Is that what Kier goes over to where Navinia was eyeing earlier?
You don't find anything.
Not a pool of blood on the table?
No.
Oh, has it been cleaned and there's different people sitting there? They're very efficient.
The perfect crime.
People die in the yard.
Koios, my partner on the stage and screen and stage. Come with me. Let's go talk to my brother. And I look pensively off towards the stage.
Where did he go?
I nod, like you've just said something profound.
This is exactly what I wanted.
Do you just appear?
You just know. You
Yeah,
know it's what
I
Grimshaq
know.
would want.
Deep within your soul, you know he would have appreciated it.
But also Grimshaq does appear, but like with a minor illusion to like no mask on, and is like, yeah, no, you could come to my dressing room if you want.
Can my friends come? I have to show you something very important. It's not a gun.
Yeah, okay, cool. And I'd like start going off toward my dressing room.
I follow.
And that's where we will come back next week.
Hello there. I've been Eric, aka Rhythm Bastard. You can find me on my website and all the music I do at rhythmbastard.rocks. You can also find me on patreon.com/rhythmbastard. Also soundcloud.com/rhythmbastard. And you can buy my merch at rhythmbastard.bandcamp.com.
I've been Madison Rowan. You can find me on Twitter at QuipsterRecrew, Recrew spelled R-I-K-U-R-U. Don't have all too many things to plug. You can find my art online through links that are on my Twitter, and yeah.
I've been Gar Atkins, but you can call me Sahoni, and you can follow me on Twitter at Sahoni_stuff. That's SAHONI_stuff. I work as a game designer and essayist, and you can buy my work at sahoni.itch.io. That's SAHONI.itch.io. I don't have a lot up there right now, but I'm working on a game inspired by X-Men and the spaces that marginalized people make for themselves.
And I'm Sam. You can find me on Twitter at Frunding_Loom. And you can also hear me on the podcast Exiled, a Marvel-themed romp through the multiverse with our game master, Luke.
Which will be wrapping up in November.
I'm Gina Dazer. You can find me on Twitter at ADASER, Dazer. You can also find me on Patreon at Gene_Dazer, or my games company, 1B8. That's everything spelled out because numbers are for chumps. I do game design, fun, wholesome games for your friends. Everything I do is super queer. I also do character design, songs, stories, but I do everything. You got it. Art is garbage for money.
And I'm Jonah. You can find me on Twitter and such at Jonah M. Jackson. I am a player on the Quest Company podcast and the GM of Quest Company Junior. Both of those are family friendly and not family friendly, depending on which one you're looking at. You can guess what's what. If you'd like more of me doing dumb Dungeons and Dragons stuff, check those out. You can find both of those podcasts wherever you find your podcast. You can find out more on Twitter at the Quest Company and at QuestCo Junior.
And I'm Luke. I've been your game master. You can find me on Twitter at Koltreg. That's KOLTREG. I also run the Exod podcast, and I host the Multiversal Q podcast, which you can find at multiversalq.com. Also, for when these episodes are initially going to be posting, I am planning to be at Acadicon 2019 in Dayton, Ohio, which is on November 8th through the 10th. Usually I go on the Saturday there, run a game, try some stuff, so if you're going to be going there, let me know. RPG Pals Club is a alternating weekly podcast. If you really enjoy the show, please leave us a review. If you are financially able to support the show and enjoy it, you can leave us support at our Patreon, which is rpgpals.club. You get episodes a week early for as little as $1 a month. Also, you get bonus content that we cut off when we just do too many shenanigans. You can send us dogs on Twitter at our RPG Pals Club Twitter account, and you can go and visit us online on our website at rpgpals.club. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back in about 2 weeks on either the 1st or the 15th, unless we've suddenly gotten backers on Patreon. Thank you very much for your time, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Peace.